Everyone in the village said I was the most beautiful girl they had ever seen. I don't say this with pride, only with the weariness that comes from knowing beauty can be both a blessing and a curse. From the moment I turned 16, there wasn't a man in a 10-mile radius who didn't try to win my hand. Farmers, merchants, even the son of the village elder, all of them came with offerings. Some brought sweet honey and embroidered shawls. Others sent their sisters or mothers to whisper flattery in my ear. I would walk to the market and feel their eyes following me like shadows. Some days it made me feel special. Other days it made me feel like something on display, an ornament, not a person. But I was not only beautiful. My father always said I had the heart of my mother, who died too young but left behind her softness in me. I was gentle, yes, but not foolish. I wanted something real, not just pretty words and polished boots, and I found that in a man most people barely noticed. He was a poor farmer, strong and quiet. He didn't bring gifts or sing songs under my window. He only looked at me as if I were made of sunlight. He looked like he knew how to listen, and that was worth more to me than gold. When he asked for my hand, my father was hesitant. "He has nothing," he said. But I had made up my mind. I chose him. Our wedding was simple. No gold, no silk. Just flowers in my hair and love in my chest so big I thought it might spill out of me. We lived in a small house with cracked walls, but I was happy, truly happy. Every morning, he woke up before the sun and went to the fields. Every evening, he came back with dirt on his hands and warmth in his eyes. He loved me in the quietest, strongest way. I cooked for him, waited by the door for his return, ran my fingers through his hair when he rested his head in my lap. We didn't need riches. We had each other. But life has a cruel sense of irony. Just as I found peace, temptation came knocking. He was our neighbor, rich, tall, dressed in fine clothes, handsome in the way a man knows he is, which made it unbearable. At first, I barely looked at him, but he looked at me, looked through me. He came by often, pretending to be polite, but his words were lined with poison. "You're too beautiful for this life," he said one day, his eyes lingering too long. "That dress is so plain. Why does your husband not buy you something finer?" I laughed, brushing it off. But his words curled in the corners of my mind. I began to look at my reflection differently. My clothes, once enough, now felt tired and worn. I began to wonder, why didn't my husband buy me beautiful things? Day after day, the rich man came back, whispering the same doubts. Like drops of water on stone, he wore me down. My heart began to waver. Not in love, but in longing. Not for the man, but for what he offered. Silk, gold, a different kind of life. And so, one night, I turned to my husband with a question that tasted bitter on my tongue. "Why don't you buy me new clothes?" I asked. He looked at me, startled. Then he smiled gently and said, "You don't need new clothes. You're the most beautiful woman in the world to me." His words should have melted my heart, but the seed of doubt had already rooted itself. "If you love me," I said, "buy me a new dress." I could see the pain in his eyes, but he nodded. The next day, he sold what little he had and came home with a dress, simple, but new. I wore it proudly, and when the rich man came again, I stood taller. "My husband bought me this," I told him. He only smiled and said, "A good husband gives more than dresses. Where is your gold? Where is your necklace?" And again, the storm began. Again, I brought it to my husband, and again he sold what little he had to please me. That was how it began. A slow unraveling. A love that was once full and rich became something fragile, strained by questions and desires. I didn't stop loving my husband. But I started loving what I didn't have. And the rich man? He returned each day, never missing, a chance to remind me of the things my husband couldn't give. Not because he loved me, but because he wanted to win. Because he saw something beautiful and thought it could be his. Until one day, he said something different. "If your husband loves you," he whispered, "he'll make miracles for you." I can make miracles. Can he? That word, miracle, lit a fire in my mind. I didn't even know what it meant. I only knew it sounded magical, powerful. I wanted to see it. I wanted to feel it. That night, I didn't cook dinner. I didn't speak kindly. I asked my husband why he couldn't make miracles. He looked at me as though he didn't recognize me. His heart broke in front of my eyes. "I'm only a man," he said, his voice cracking. "Only God can make miracles." But he still tried. Oh, how he tried. He went to his brother's field, worked like an ox, breaking his back. He prayed under the sun until his skin burned, asking God for a miracle. And, as if by divine pity, someone answered. A wizard, a man of mystery, gave him 2 sticks. One turned a person into a donkey. The other turned them back. And the miracle? He came home and touched me with the first stick. In that moment, I changed. Not just my body, but my spirit. I understood everything. The cruelty of my thoughts. The way I had allowed a serpent to crawl into our house. When I turned back, I wept. I fell to my knees. And then, he said something I'll never forget. "If you truly love me, use this stick. Use it on the one who turned your heart against me." He left the second stick hidden and gave me the first. The next time the rich man came, he walked in like a king. But he left as a donkey, and that donkey worked. For years, it worked. Carried stones, pulled carts, suffered under the sun like my husband once did. The strong back broke. The proud face aged. And only when the donkey became too old to work did my husband set him free. He touched him with the second stick. The man returned, bent, broken, humbled. He left without a word, never came back. My husband and I lived a quiet life after that. Not perfect, but real, honest. He never held my mistakes against me, and I never again let pretty words lead me into darkness. I learned that love is not proved by miracles, or gold, or silk. It's proved in the way someone carries your burdens, in the hands that stay rough to keep your life soft, in forgiveness. And I learned this too. When you let someone else plant doubt in your heart, you risk losing everything real for something that was never yours to begin with.